Hey, hey, friends. Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. It is time for 5 journals on a journey. Have you missed us? Look at this stinker. This is my challenge today, is fitting another signature into this plum full. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Do you know whose journal this is? This is what we call an alligator mouth. When your journal's spine is smaller than, and it creates like a mouth effect, that's where the alligator mouth comes from, than what's on the inside, which are called the signatures. Can you believe this book? It's crazy. It's crazy. The covers, now I'm going to show you the cover, and the colors alone should tell you whose journal this is. So remember, each one of us creatives, we created our own cover, and we punched holes to create 5 signatures in our books. And then we are passing these along to one another, creative friends across the country. There's 5 of us. So each month we have sent the book off to a new person, one of the 5. That person gets the book. They add a signature to the book and then send it off to the next person. And then we go live, add a signature to the book, send it off to the next person. This is the one that I'm working with. This is the last one. This is the last in this. There's one more. Okay, hang tight. Start over. Rewind. Okay, there's one more of these events to happen. It'll happen in June, and that is when each of the owners will get back their original book and get to open it and flip through it with you. And some of us will be seeing it for the first time, because for sure I know that Michelle was trying to be surprised. So she wasn't watching what was going on with her book. But I don't know the extent that the other ladies know what's in their books or not. So we'll be opening our books in June and flipping through them. This particular session today, this event, each one of us is going to go live, one right after the other. So throughout, the next few hours. And we're going to be adding the last signature to these books before it goes off to the original owner. So do you know whose book this is? Yeah, Monica Lucas. She says it has to be Dina's. Girl, you got it. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Robin. I know I see you guys popping in here. Michelle's here. She says, I've not seen a thing in my book. Michelle, seriously? That's incredible that you had that much self-control. Let's use the word self-control. I liked the idea, the theory of it, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, girl. I couldn't do it. Okay, this is my challenge. When I open this book, so she does have, thankfully, she put a nice, Dina, you were very smart. She put a nice long couple of ribbons here, glued into her cover so that she could tie this shut. Okay, when I show you, this is the front of the book. So Dina created her first signature, and then there's 3 more signatures in here from the other 3 ladies, and then I have the last spot. You guys, here's the binding. Here's the binding. My signature is gonna fit in there. This is the greatest junk journalers challenge. It cracks me up, because I'm going to have to bend the book back. Thankfully, it's pliable and flexible to get to the 3 little holes here. So I was thinking to myself, I don't want to shortchange Dina on getting another signature, but there's not really a lot of room left here. Just leave it to a bunch of creative junk journalers to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm creating it's a smallish signature. I counted. I think Dina's signature has 5 pages in it, and then they go amok. One of them has 7. One of them has 9 pages in it. I'm going to try to do the 5. I'm going to try to do the 5 pages and not overly embellish them, because it's not necessarily the pages. Let's see. Let me get one of the pages. Hang tight, girls. I want to open this feed too so that we can all right, let me take, hold on. I don't want to take apart what I've already done, but I want to kind of showcase. Maybe I can take one out of here. Okay, the middle one. This is the middle one of my pages. It's a map of the state where I live, which is North Dakota. There's a map here from a book, a couple of maps there of the state of North Dakota. Each one of us is, I think, trying to leave something from our own state in the book of the person it belongs to, because we come from 5 different states, which is really actually quite fun and fantastic. This one page by itself is nothing, right? That's slim and slender, and I probably can fit 5 of these into the book. It's when you start adding tags and pockets and clip-ons with danglies and lace and envelopes and peekaboo spots. It's when you add all the fun stuff that the book, it's like going for an ice cream sundae to an ice cream sundae party. And you start with your ice cream and your dish. You think, oh, my dish has plenty of room with my ice cream in it. And then you add a few marshmallows, and then you go ahead and you, oh, they have M&Ms, and you add M&Ms, and then you go down the line and they have Reese's Pieces, and you add some of them. Oreo cookies, you add some of them, and soon enough, your dish is so full it's overflowing. That's what's happened to this book. There's so much sweet goodness in it that it's overflowing. So this is one of the pages for mine. I'm going to put the camera down so you can see my table. I have got it basically planned out, but I have a lot of work to do on this to make it ready for the book. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Hey, Carol. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. Okay, Chris is moving over to a new page. She has moved over to a new page called A Creative Life with Chris Hunter. She has joined us from that page, and I want to point that out in the comments, because if any of you have a chance, I'm going to star that comment. I don't know what that means in the StreamYard world, but I just starred it. I just starred her comment because she's coming from her new page, so that if you get a chance, click on that and follow her new page. She's trying to move her friends over from her old page to her new page. So if you can help her out with that, that's fabulous. If you're not a friend of hers yet, head on over. You're going to love her. Hey, Susan, welcome, welcome. Hey, there's my friend Joyce. How are you? Leslie's here. Susie Van, welcome, welcome. There's Dina. Dina, did you see me show your book? Girl, it's got so much good stuff in it. It's got so much good stuff in it. I'm telling you. I am telling you. But it's a bit of a challenge. Now, listen, we all have a challenge. I don't think that this is the only book that's plumb full. I think they've all got a bit of goodies in them. Now, I'm going to put you guys down and show you what I got going on for Dina's book. But before I do that, I just want to grab the feed, if you don't mind, so I can see your comments while I'm creating. I am broadcasting live on both YouTube and Facebook for my followers. So if anybody's coming in from either one of those, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Of course, I'm always glad to get a chance to hang out with you. Okay, just one second, ladies. What else can I tell you? So this is a page hop. This event is a page hop, and we're doing it a bit differently than what you may see in some other events. So what we're going to do is at the end of my live, I will tell you who the next creative is, so that you guys can all scurry your little fingers on your on your computer, your iPad, or your whatever you're watching from, your phone. Scurry on over to the other person's page and watch that person work on whoever's book they have. So we'll be revealing that as we go, so that you guys can follow along with us today. And like I said, there'll be one more live broadcast event. So the 5 of us going live on one day in June. So stay tuned for that on all of our pages. Hey, Sherry, how are you, friend? Oh, Jamie's here from Colorado. What's it like in Colorado right now? Now I got your comments, so that's good. All right, let me get you down on my table. I'm in a different place. I don't know if you noticed this. If you are a regular here at the Comfy Nest with Grace, I usually go live from that table, and that table is usually positioned differently in this room. It has been for like 6 years. I probably got that table 3 years ago. But this room has always been positioned in a different way. So you're getting a whole new view of my space, because I needed to get my room in a position where I can sit when I create. Never in my life, I have never, other than when I've been at a retreat, whenever I create, I'm at a standing table. That's my preference. But you guys who have been on my journey, you know I've had so much pelvic pain that I haven't been able to do that. So I think that sitting is going to be a better option for you. I'm going to lift you up, and then I'm going to move you so that you can see, I hope, yes. We're going to get you down there on the table so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So it's even a new camera holder. Girls, I had to make all these adjustments. All these adjustments. Okay. These are all just like I was going through my stash of goodies and I'm like, ooh, Dina might like this. She might like this. And I was just gathering up little envelopes that have goodies in them so that I have them at hand for when I'm creating. I grabbed some pretty, she loves pink. And I have had these rolls of sticky lace for a long time. I've been using them for a long time. They've lasted me forever. But there was a pink, a blue, and an off-white one. So I think I'll probably be using some of that. I've got some pretty pinkish washi tape and some other embellishments just kind of sitting over here to the side. Here's the actual signature. The cover to the signature is here. It's super grungy. Now, girls, I'm a big, big fan of grunge, and I'm a big fan of really random, pretty things in a journal. I like things to be random and not necessarily matchy-matchy. I think I have done a themed journal in the past. I did a fairy journal once where all of the pages had fairy themed items in it. But that's not traditionally the way I create. When I create, I normally have a very grungy, mismatched assortment, very eclectic assortment of things in the books. So when we talked about this, but I said, are we creating in the books to try to accommodate the other person's taste? Because Dina's tastes, for example, are much different than mine. I absolutely love Dina's books. I think they are so classy. They are impeccable in terms of the beauty. They're just beautiful and they do match. So she does just a beautiful job of matching everything, but it's not the way I create. So I said, should we be trying to match or do our own thing? And everybody agreed. Do your own thing so that Dina's book is going to be very eclectic. It's going to have a little bit of each one of our styles. And mine is by far, of all of the people, it's the most grungy. So here we go. I love to use actual junk. This is a telephone book, North Dakota telephone book I've been using to, when I say, I call it tired crafting, when I'm too tired to do a project, but I want to do something creative. What I do is take my bits of leftover papers and I collage them onto the telephone book pages. So I have a whole telephone book full of collaged papers, and then I tear them out and then I use them for pages in my junk journal. So this is going to be the cover of Dina's signature from me. I'm going to dress this up a little bit. I already, if you can see in this corner, see that white design? And then down here, it's not so white. It's a little bit more off-white. But I used this stencil from Essential Stencil. And what I did was I took a little bit of platinum texture paste. I used this on one part of it. And then on the other one, I used Posh Chalk. Okay, so this platinum texture paste is a crackle paste. So I'm waiting for this to crackle. It hasn't crackled yet. It's still drying. So I'm just going to leave this aside to keep drying. And maybe this top part is dry, but the bottom part, that's the texture paste, is not dry yet. It hasn't cracked. So I'm just going to let that keep doing its thing and we're going to keep working. This little postcard, I've been sending these fairy postcards to the members of my membership group. I just randomly send them little notes in the mail, and they're on these postcards so that they can use them in their junk journals or make tags out of them or whatever they want. But I'm going to include one of these in her book, and I'm going to attach it with fabric. So I'm going to get this ready. It's going to be on the cover. This is going to be one of the things that dresses up her telephone book page. So I think I want this about this big. And again, I like things super grungy. So I'm not cutting it. I'm not securing the edges. You can see, if anybody knows fabric, I have the, what is it called? The seam on here. You usually would cut that off. I'm leaving it on there because I love the look of that. This is going to get glued down on here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that on this side. And then when the other part of it's ready, I'll glue it on the other side. So we'll just get this part ready. What is that thing called at the end of the fabric? I just can't think, girls. I just can't think. What is that thing called at the end of the fabric? Seam? No, what is it called? Geez, the thing that has like the information about the designer and all that. I can't think straight lately. Okay, I want her to be upright this way, and it's going to get glued here. So I need to make sure I'm putting the glue on the right spot. I think the fabric will hold it in there nicely. It's kind of decorative. I just got this little spot on the end that curled up on me a little bit. What is it? The selvage. Cheryl. Hi. I didn't even realize you were here. Cheryl, yes. Thank you for saving me from myself. The selvage. That's what it is. Okay, so this is ready to go. It's going to go in that cover. So I'm going to put it aside with the cover while the texture paste dries. And then here we go. Here are some of the other pages. And this is what I do to organize myself. I mean, everybody has their own way of working, but I'll just show you. So I have the main pages in here, but what I do as I'm going in, I'm trying to plan what I'm going to do in the book, is I've chosen some embossed papers that I'm going to make either pockets or belly bands or tuck spots out of, and I stuff them in where I think I'm going to use them. Do you see this? So the only thing about this is that on this one right here, this page, this is a decorative digital design that I created in November. It's available in my shop, but all of my club members got it for free. And I called it Lace and Grunge because I love both lace and I love things super grungy. It also has some really pretty botanicals on it. I printed it on resume paper and I wanted to do something on the back here. So what I'm going to do is take this fantastic metallic foil dot gift paper that I got from somebody, and I'm going to glue it down to this page so that it's not so plain on this side. Okay, so it's a great use of the tissue paper. It's going to put a little glitz in here and a little texture, and I'll show you the way I do this. I'm going to use a glue stick. This is my permanent glue stick. I'm going to just put these things aside for a minute so I have a little more room to work. Let's hope I don't lose track of what I'm doing here. Okay, so I just have this here. I have this huge piece of paper and I needed to get it on here, and I like it to be super grungy. So the first thing I'm going to do is grunge it up. I'm going to crinkle it and make it purposefully very wrinkled. Okay. And it smells really good. One of my folks here at the company sent that to me in one of our swaps that we did. I think it was one of the Facebook subscribers. It might have been Mary. Okay, just scrap paper here so I can run my glue stick over the edge. So I'm just going to go in sections, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue stick, and then I'm going to stick the tissue paper. You can do the same thing with napkins too. If you have napkins that you like the design of, and you want to make a plain piece of paper not so plain, this is a really good way to do it. I'm just going to go in sections here. So now I'm going to take this crumpled up thing and I'm going to push it into that glue. I'm not going to try to line up the edges. That would drive me crazy. So I'm going to purposefully go over the edge a little bit. And you see how I'm like putting that on there and kind of crinkling it on instead of trying to lay it flat. What this does is it gives the paper a lot of texture. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that down, and now I'm going to do it in stages, and then I'll go around the edges and I'll cut all the edges. If that makes any sense at all. Does anybody else do this? Hey, Bryce, how are you, friend? Hey, Callie. Hey, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. Today we are doing 5 journals on a journey. So the 5 of us. So I'll tell you who the folks are. Obviously, it's Dina, Designs by Dina. She's one of the 5. Creating with Chris Hunter, she's here. She's one of the 5. In fact, she was the one who proposed this whole plan to us on December 5th. She came to us and said, girls, I got an idea of 5 journals on a journey. And we said, well, what the heck does that mean? And she explained it all. And we said, yes, let's do it. So it was Chris Hunter who discovered or, came up with the plan. And we were all the willing creative friends who said yes. So it's Dina and Chris and me, Cheryl. Cheryl is here. I see that Cheryl's here. Cheryl Parrish from Mama Peas. And then the fifth person, I don't want to say the last person, the fifth person who's doing it is Michelle from the Vintage Daisy. So you've got 5 creative friends creating together and decorating each other's books, which I think is so fun. I've never done anything like this before, but it's been super exciting. Okay. There was my glue paper. I'm going to put that aside. I don't need it anymore. But see what we get? We get a lot of crinkly goodness in there. And if you want to, once it's dry, so the glue stick goes kind of through the tissue paper, and it's not tacky everywhere, but I can feel a little bit of tackiness. So it needs to dry. And once it's dry, if you wanted to, you could hit those high spots on the paper with, there's a couple of things you could do. You could hit the high spots on the paper with your distress inks. If you want it to look a little distressed, you could add any color you wanted, and then around the edges. The other thing you could do if you wanted to, if you needed this to be a smooth surface, is to put some type of varnish, a top coat over it, just to seal in the paper, and especially all those wrinkles. That would be important if you wanted to go right on top of this. Say you wanted to draw a flower or something, you would want to put a top coat down and then use a waterproof permanent marker to do your art marker to do your flowers. Okay, so those are your 2 options. I'm going to come around and try. Should I wait till it's dry? I usually wait till it's dry, but for the sake of time, I always say this to you: do as I say, don't do as I do. If you were doing this at home alone and you don't have people hanging out with you and watching, wanting to see the end result, let this dry on its own time. Don't force it along. Let it dry on its own time. It's going to get really crinkly and paper-like. It's going to get that feeling back. Right now, it feels kind of damp. And because it's damp, the paper is, I hate this word, but I'm going to say it. The paper's kind of limp. I hate saying that word out loud on social media. The paper's a little limp, girls. Let's just say it. It's because it's wet. It's wet from the glue, but when it's dry and the glue has secured itself, it will actually feel a little bit more sturdy, because now you have 2 layers of paper. It won't be limp anymore. Annette says, I can't wait to see what's next. Hey, Jennifer Lee, how are you, friend? Linda, I thank you for saying that. It is a fantastic group of ladies. I'm not saying that just because I'm in it. I'm honored to be part of it. Totally honored to be part of this. Seriously. It has been, we started this in December, and in a way you can think, wow, a 6-month event. And we intended to go live once a month, but we've gone live twice a month, every month, I think, pretty much. Although I don't know of any other event that isn't 6 months long, creative event on Facebook. I know on Facebook you see more, or on YouTube you see more of that, but not so much on Facebook. It's the first one that I know of. I'm just in my limited exposure to things, but it's gone by super fast. Actually, the whole process has been really fun, because you're anticipating the waiting of the box to come to you so you can open it and look through that person's project. It's been amazing. Okay, so I even lost I had this folded in half and creased, but I've kind of lost that because it's limp. So now it's ready though. So when this page is opened up, we're going to have this. Now this was, let's see if I can put it back in the right order. I think, was this on the inside or outside, girls? See, I knew this was going to happen, or I'd lose track of what I was doing. What was I doing? Yeah, this is right, Grace? Does anybody remember how I had this? I had it all planned out. No, I think this is on the end. This part. I think this was toward the middle, so I think this goes next. Right? How did I have it, girls? Good gravy. I think it goes like this. Yeah, I think that's right. I did this last time too, where I got myself all confused. Okay, no, that paper was paper that I designed. It's a digital download on one side, and then I just affixed some, with a glue stick, some foil dotted tissue paper. I am really struggling to find my words today, girls. Gia, hasn't it? It's gone by so fast. It's gone by so fast. Hey, Kimberly, how are you, friend? You're gorgeous. She said, gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Kim has this fantastic watercolor hand lettering workshop coming up at the end of this month. So I posted it here on the page yesterday. So watch for that. It's a couple, she's doing it like, I think in 3 days or 3 dates, 3 sessions. You're going to do this gorgeous watercolor flamingo floral piece, and then she's going to show you hand lettering beside that for the same, on the same project. I was just checking comments real quick. Hey, Linda. Yes, Linda says I use napkin plies to add texture. Yeah, and if you use the top ply of the napkin, you can also get the design, which is fantastic, right? It's double whammy. Love that you guys are saying hello to Royce. Hey, Susan, how are you, Susan McMichael? I see you there. I love going through and seeing which friends are here today. Hey, Missy. All right, so that's what we had there. Somehow I feel this is wrong. Gracie, was this supposed to be here? What did I do? Girls, I don't know. We're just going to go with it. Let me just flip through for a minute. I don't think I like that there anymore. Oh, this is my North Dakota postcard that I have for her. Isn't that great? The meadowlark, state bird. In each one of the girls, I've put a postcard. So I put it in there and then I write on it. So I write my little note to them on the postcard. Okay, I know for sure on this page, I was going to do a triple pocket. So I can do that, even though I don't know what else. Why am I so baffled by the order of this? I do like the polka dots next to this pink. So maybe I'll just leave it like that. But then I'm not sure that I like those two together. This, I believe, was supposed to be in there. Okay, let's do our pockets. So on this page, I'm going to do, I found this little, like vintage Serenity Prayer bookmark that is just so pretty. It has a little angel behind it. And I'm going to include that in here. That's going to go into the pockets. But I'm going to do a triple pocket. And I have a polka dot, kind of playing up on the polka dots right here. So I have a polka dot embossed paper, and I have, I don't know, just this other pretty little embossed paper that are going to be the base for these pockets. And then I have this cluster that I made with painted book paper. So that's going to be a pocket too. We're going to do 3 pockets. Okay, let me figure out, how did I decide I wanted to do this now? I like them to be off center from each other. Okay, I don't like them to be, oh, and I was going to go this way with this one. So they're going to be all working pockets, but they're going to be off center from each other is the way I want to work it. So this is real simple. We're just going to glue down these pieces of paper. Just trying to decide if I want to start distressing anything. I don't actually do a ton of distressing in my books. And the other thing is, I told you I love grungy and I love things mismatched. So I don't feel a ton of pressure. Maybe this will help some of you. I don't feel a ton of pressure when I create my books so I give you permission to follow my lead. Just because you muck up one of the pages of your book or one of the pockets of your book with distress ink, I don't feel like everything in the book has to be distressed like that. I really don't. So I give you permission. So that'll be one pocket here. Got one pocket right there. It's got, of course, it's got to dry before we do anything. I'm going to put a long pocket right next to it. I have a feeling this is not square. It doesn't bother me in the least, truly, but I'm just going to check it real quick. It's not too bad. It's just a tish off, so we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Now, here's the dealio. I want this to be a working pocket, and I'm going to glue it on top of this one, but I cannot glue, obviously, I cannot glue this corner. because if I glue that corner, I'm not going to be able to get this in. So from this, like, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 dots down. I just counted the embossed dots. I can put glue there. Okay. So at that point I can put glue, and then I can go all around on the other side. It just takes a little forethought, a little bit of planning. Now 4 dots down is where I don't have any glue, and I want to match that up so that it doesn't get in the way of this pocket. And we're doing like a tri-colored triple pocket here. Okay, so that'll be another pocket. And then this little pretty is going to become its own little pocket in the front. I'm going to offset it actually a little bit to the left, because why not? Because I like things wonky and a little weird. I like things to be really unique and unexpected. When you're opening a book, I want it to be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that on this page. That makes me really excited when you can say that. Okay, I guess I'm going to go right there. So there's a lot of pink in this book. Dina loves pink. So I've made sure to put a lot of pink. And I grabbed a whole lot of embellishments that will continue on that pink plan. Like I think I'm going to glue her down. I was considering putting her on the cover page, so I'm just going to hold off on that. Okay, so here, just to show you, let me grab something thinner that will allow me to show you. There's a pocket right here. Whoops. See, I'm going to get glue on it. There's a pocket here, the brown pocket. There's a green pocket behind it, and then there's a pocket right here. So we have 3 pockets on this, and I will put something in each one of those pockets. We just got to give it time to dry. Capri said we had a meadowlark in our childhood Oklahoma neighborhood. I have been having more fun. Have you guys seen my posts? I don't want to overwhelm you with the live bird cam, but I have been having more fun with my bird cam posts, sharing them with you, because I'm getting so much joy out of those birds. But I will tell you, those birds are like my teenage kids. I have to fill that feeder every day. When I filled it the first time, it took them about 5 or 6 days to find the bird feeder and know that there was bird feed there. And at that point, there were just 2 birds coming. And then after like another 3 days, 2 more birds found it. So then I have 4 birds after about a week, and I would say about 9 days. I had 4 birds. I moved the bird feeder to a tree in my front yard. Now we are getting so many birds and squirrels, and they clear out the bird feed in a day. I'm going to need another part-time job just to feed the darn birds. I want to feed them. I'm having so much fun watching them. But I'll tell you what, I didn't feed them yesterday. I was like, my goodness, they're little piggies. Oh, Lori says, one bird feeder leads to 2, it leads to 3. Lori, do you have bird feeders? All right, girls, those of you who feed the birds or squirrels, tell me how many feeders you have. If I started something here at the Kurtz family household? Hey, Betty, how are you? Hey, Tammy, I see you. Teresa's here. Welcome, welcome. All right, tell me about your bird feeders in the comments. This I'm loving. It's going to dry. I was thinking about actually putting one of these washi sticker flowers on here. I pulled out a bunch of them. I know that Dina really loves lace and she loves florals. So I pulled out a few. I think this one's too big. I think that one's really nice. And I wouldn't mind having a little lace trim on here too. So I think I'm going to glue down some lace and put this floral here, just as some added pretties on this page. But tell me about your feeders. How many do you have? Is it a thing? Like, how do you afford this? Tell me that. Tell me how you afford. Girls, you beg, borrow, and stealing to feed these birds, because they eat a lot of feed. I can't even believe it, to be honest with you. I need a tool because I can never get this washi tape sticker off the backing. It's always a challenge to me. I don't want this tool. Hold on, girls. I'm going to slide over here and grab a different tool. I do like the ability to slide across the room. I couldn't do that before. I was too tight before. Oh, let's see. Sherry says, my friend buys aluminum pan and puts seed and peanuts in it, and it draws the birds and the squirrels. And I have one feeder, and the squirrel sits in there and just shoves his mouth. Yes, I share. Oh, who was it that said that? Lisa. Shoves his mouth and his cheeks so full. That's what I found. The two squirrels, I have to kind of chase them. I hate to tell you, I'm not trying to be cruel to the squirrels, but I've had to chase them off a couple of times because they just sit there and they like scarf it in. I can't believe how fast they can eat. I'm like, dang, I will keep feeding you if you just share. But they, you know, they intimidate the other birds away, the birds away when they're there because they're so big in the feeder, and they sit right in the seed and they kind of like make it go all over the place. And I think that's on purpose because then when the birds are up there, the squirrels just go down below and eat what's below the feeder. They aren't dumb. I'll tell you what, they are not dumb. Okay, we got that one done. All right, I think on this page, I don't want to have the two postcards right next to each other. And here I took this is a piece of decorative scrapbook paper that was 12 inches, and it had a fairy theme, I think. So you can see it has that castle and those really pretty flowers on the bottom. It's a little bit of shine to it, both on the top. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. There it is. And it's too big. It's 12 inches, and Dina's book is not that tall, obviously. So I took this strip because I wanted to get this castle in here, and I folded it at the point that will fit in her book. And I'm going to put this in here as a, you know, like a journal card. I'm going to just get a pretty paper clip and put that in there. Rolling away again, girls. Well, this is going to be fun, this whole rolling away thing. I have this little crate full of, you know, like those hidden paper clips like this one. That's a paper clip. And I just wonder if I can find one here that would be pretty to put on here. Let me just see. That one's only hidden on one side. I think this one's just a little too tight. Sometimes they come out real tight because of the materials that you use. I do these little circle ones that I love. They're just teeny little circles. And it's only hidden on one side, which I don't mind if it fits, if it's the right fit for the book. Look at that one. That's cute too. I might go with that one. Okay, so this is, I love making the books, the shell of the book. I love doing that. I get a lot of satisfaction, and it's like a boost, like, yay, I did it. It feels really good to create a book from start to finish. I love creating the book, but then, and that part is more technical, a little bit more technical. This part is the creative part. This is the really fun creative part where you get to just express yourself in the book, which I find to be super fun. Okay, here I have nothing planned on this page. So I think I'm going to end up putting my Meadowlark here. Now, I was considering making a pocket for this, and I took a bunch of junk envelopes. You know, you get these, like the envelopes that your utility bill comes in and stuff. You can hear it. It's got that crinkly panel on it, and I decorated them. So like this one, it has book page on the inside. I distressed it, so you can see that this one's distressed. It looks like it has burnt edges. I put some of that decorative lace tape there and a wax seal here, and that actually could be a really cute pocket maybe for a Meadowlark. Let's just see. I grabbed 2 of these because I was thinking I wouldn't mind putting one of these in her book. So they're kind of positioned differently. This one is positioned long and skinny, and this one I positioned tall. So the way you do these, decorate these envelopes, if you decide to make some, you get to decide how you're, you know, put them into your book. And you could make them a total, like an absolute pocket. I don't know. I don't like either one of them with it, to be truthful with you. I also have this, which could become a pocket. That's really cute. Just trying to decide. Okay, I feel like I need to do something with this page. Do something more with it. And I do have some other pieces of embossed paper that are quite beautiful sitting here. That Definitely not black on pink. I'm just trying to decide. Oh, the other thing is I grabbed, because she loves florals so much, I grabbed a bunch of these. So I've been cutting up my magazines and grabbing images. Like, look at that. That's, oh, I think I'm going to put this here as a tuck spot or belly band. Tuck spot or belly band. It has yellow in it and our bird is yellow. So that could... I'm going to do it as a tuck so I don't lose any of it because it's so vibrant and beautiful. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to decide if I want to do anything to the corners. I'm going to round these edges. All of my tools are at this other desk. Good thing it's close by, right, girls? I think I'm missing comments. Let me see. Our resident squirrel, Rose says, planted a walnut from our neighbor's yard in our raised garden and it sprouted a seedling. We carefully replanted it in a small container and will be pampered this year, fingers crossed. What a good partnership you are, you and your resident squirrel. How fun is that? Oh my gosh. You're planting trees together. That's beautiful. I would love to know if that tree takes. I hope it really does. Wouldn't it be fun to have a walnut tree? Okay, this doesn't, it's just, I can't believe it. It just fits this page and it's just smaller by like a tish, smaller than the page. So it's going to be perfect for holding something in there. I'm thinking this is going to go in there perfectly like that. And I'll probably let's put a little fabric tab on this so it's real obvious that there's something to grab onto there. I can use this same piece of fabric that I used. Let's go like this and make a little tab. I think if I put this on there, it's going to be a little bit too long. So I'm going to cut this down just a little further. Maybe like right there. I just guessed. I'm not measuring anything, girls. The little Meadowlark is going to be poking his little face out right here. And I'm going to put this on here to make a little decorative tab. You guys, I had to rig up my light, my ring light, so that you guys have a better view. I had to rig it up. Like I was going live and I'm like, how this whole wall where this table is, there's no well, there is an outlet, but it's all the way on the end. And my ring light, the cord didn't reach that far. So Gannon came in right before I went live. And I was like, Gannon, find me an extension cord. He was trying to say, Mom, I got my project done. I was like, Gannon, I can't talk to you right now. The poor child. I'm like, I gotta go live and I need an extension cord. So the child was so good. He helped me find the extension cord and then he was off on his way. I said, I will talk to you in length when I'm done with my project, which, oh yeah, we have about 15 minutes, which is good. Okay. All I do, doesn't take a lot of measuring or anything. I just glue it down. I may put something other decorative on there too. I may put some bling on there because I know she likes bling too. She likes shinies. So this is going to end up in here. I love that because I'm not actually a huge fan of dark pink. I love really light pinks like blush pink. And I do love a mauve. That's the only dark pink that I like. This is a darker pink, the paper, but I don't happen to love it. So I did put some stenciling on it with some ink, just to like tone down the pink a little bit. And then you can see as you're adding other stuff, you can hardly even see that pink now. It's back there, but it's not going to be the star of the show. The star of the show really are these beautiful tulips that came out of one of my what do you call it? One out of my magazines. All right. I need to leave this aside because this is pretty wet. It needs to dry. So I'm just going to set that aside. This page, I think this page will add some fabric to. Maybe I'll make a little cluster. Let's see something. This page came from an agricultural book. Yeah, and it says long-term average number of days in the growing season when it's 32 Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Fahrenheit and above. So it's like an agricultural book that talks about different regions and what the rain flow is, but it's got that ugly graph right there. So I'm going to cover that up. We're going to, at least somewhat. I want to leave this source, North Dakota Business and Development Department, North Dakota Industrial. I want to leave that, but we can maybe make a cluster that we're going to put right here. So I'm going to start trying to figure out. I am going to take the salvage off of this. Thank you for the word, girls. I just want to find my words. So we've got the same piece of fabric. I'd like to use it throughout so that we have, you know, some solidarity or things, or at least coordinated in that regard. I'll use the same paper or washi tape or coloring, you know, speaking of washi tape, throughout the book so that things are at least a little bit cohesive. Now I might just put a piece of this washi tape down to make this page a little bit more decorative. So this ugly agricultural book page, it's not. I wanted to get the map in there. I think it's super cool to take a vintage book and pull a page out of it and include it in one of my journals. Well, this is Dina's journal. But then I like to pretty it up and add things to it so it's not so blah. Not so blah. I am going to add a little bit of permanent glue to the washi tape so it sticks even better. Washi tape is traditionally repositionable, and I don't want it repositionable. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Going to put some really cute little peachy pink dragonflies in her book, and then I think I'm going to put her on top of this fabric. I mean, you don't get more grungy than that. So I'm going to wet this fabric a little bit with, right now I'm just using clear gel tacky glue. It's a lot like Fabri-Tac. It flows really easily from the bottle. I never have trouble getting it out, so I kind of reach for it. I'm finding myself reaching for it more often lately. Here we go. We're going to cover up that ugly graph, ladies. We're just going to do this and make it a little bit less agriculturally. I have, remember this pretty paper, and I wonder if it wouldn't be good to splatter a little bit of this somewhere on here too. I might just, because again, it's, if I repeat the polka dot paper through on here, it's going to give the feeling that things are cohesive. So just a couple of smatterings of this polka dot paper. I'm gonna, you won't lose all of those words. I'm just gonna put a bit of this randomly up the side here. And I could just do one evenly spaced and cut strip, but I don't, that's not my style. I kind of like things random, grungy, messy. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going up the edge here with some of that pink. Using up some of what we got. This is true junk journaling. Piece of tissue paper that came in a gift somewhere in my house. Somebody gave me a gift. Probably didn't come to one of the kids. It was probably to me because it has pink polka dots. And instead of throwing it out, I saved it. And now I'm using it in the book. That is what true junk journaling is. And I really get a kick out of doing it. It really makes me happy to use things that would have otherwise gotten thrown out. I just glued that, and you can see that shine on there. Now that has to dry for a minute. I have to decide where to put her. I actually may find something different for the fabric because I really like her right here with the words right behind her face. Oh, I love her there. That's where she's going. I'll find something else for the fabric. Hey, Mary, it's okay. You're always welcome. Terry, are you saying it's 83 in your house? It's hot then, girl. It'd be hot. Open those windows. Get some air in there. Turn a fan on. I did turn our air conditioning on the other. Oh, I think actually, girls, I just put glue all over that. I think it's a sticker. Let me just double check. I think I actually cut this out from my scan and cut feature on my Cricut. And if it's a sticker, I really do need to remove the backing because what will happen is the backing will stick for sure. But if anything ever disturbs the front of it, she will come off. I'm just checking. Are you a sticker, my friend? Nope. Okay. Sorry to mess with you. Wrong page. Oh my gosh, I love her here. And she's got the prettiest little roses. I'll show you. It's totally random. I don't know why this girl is in here. I just love her. I've used her on several projects. I forgot to do her bun. So let's make sure her bun sticks down. Oh, it's okay that you're late, ladies. Listen, this event, I'm on for about 7-8 more minutes, and then 9 minutes. And then you guys are all going to hop on over to the next Creative Journalers page. And you don't even know who that is. I will tell you at the end of this live, I will tell you whose page you're going to hop on over to. It's a page hop. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, let me see if I can find some little image or something to go on the fabric. Now, I had grabbed this, but I don't think I want that there. I also grabbed some magazine images. I have been cutting up my home decor magazines. This is another good thing to do when you're tired crafting, meaning I don't want to do a whole project, but I want to do something creative and maybe watch something on Netflix while I'm doing something with my hands. And so what I do is I take my magazines and I go through them for pretty things. And I just cut out the pretty things that I like in my magazines so I can use them in my junk journal. So like I pulled this out. That was actually on, you know, you recognize that card where it says subscribe to the magazine. And it's the sweetest little set of books. Are those hydrangeas? That I think I'm going to put right here. I think it's very pretty. It's going to go right here. And I think I could actually make this a little, not a complete pocket, but like a little tuck spot. So I'm not going to glue the whole thing. I'm just going to glue part of it so I can tuck something in there. And it's going over the fabric. So it's layers of texture. So the fabric is underneath it. And then I have the washi tape here. And that's to dress up this agricultural page. So we're making it a little more decorative than it was. Okay, I did want to put the bird in here somewhere. So I need to find a home for the bird. And you're not quite dry enough. I can't put you in place yet. But here where my pockets are is where I was going to put this beauty. It fits so perfectly. The Serenity Prayer. Look at it. It fits in there perfectly. It's the right height exactly. And then I will find other things to stick in on the other two pockets. I won't, if I put the pockets in a book, I always stuff them with something, some kind of tag or something. Okay, so let's keep going. I need to leave this page open while this dries. That's okay. She's got a little sticky on her. I'm going to leave this page open. I'm actually going to stand it up because two different sides have glue on them. And then here, I was going to make a pocket here, but let's do maybe an angled tuck spot instead of a pocket. So what I usually do, I lay down the piece of paper. This is a decorative piece of pink embossed paper. So I would lay this down and I would pick like how tall do I want it. So I would make a mark with my pencil. I'm going to do it on the back of it. I can't do it on the back. I have to do it on the front. Just be very gentle, Gracie. All right. I want it like this tall. And do I want this right at the point? Probably not, unless I went this way. This gives me more width to work with. Hold on, girls. I'm trying to figure it out. I think what I'll do is from there to there. Let's see what this looks like. I have a ton of embossed papers. That's another tired crafting thing to do. If you guys haven't grabbed my freebie with all the ways you can craft even when you're too tired to do a full blown out project, which is a lot of nights for me lately. Embossing. just get out your embossing folders and your leftover cardstock or papers, paper bags, anything that you want to emboss. And you can just start embossing until you get a nice, this whole big folder is full of cardstock that's all been embossed, and they're all different colors so that I have that to go through every time I make a book. And I'm looking for things to embellish and make pockets. I have all of that to work with. Okay, so I did it in a way so that we have this taller edge here, but it will be a corner tuck spot right here. And then I'll be able to, I'm going to leave this corner open. So I'm only going to put glue on the two longest edges and glue that down. And the bird maybe the bird can end up on this page. I have more florals as well to put down. Okay, by leaving it rather open here, it gives me more room to tuck something in there. Like right here, it's not closed out. So I can make a big, beautiful tag right there. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry. I try to let things dry before I move on to the next part. What are we doing for time? We got 4 more minutes. Let me grab, let's see, how is her cover doing? It's still wet. The crackle's still crackling. So this is going to be her cover. Like I said, this is that telephone paper. And I've got the crackle and the texture paste on this side. It's still drying. But then over here is where I want to glue this beauty down so that she's showing. So I guess I'm going to glue her down because this still needs to dry. So I might as well get her glued down as well. So if you can envision, that's how that will look. And then she'll open this and then she can flip this open and she can write on it. This isn't the postcard I'm writing on. I'm writing on the one that's the North Dakota Meadowlark. Okay, here we go. We're gluing. Okay. I know, Michelle, you're ready to go, aren't you? I hope you're ready to go, girl. I can't wait to see what everybody's doing with these books. And I really cannot wait to see us flip through them and to see all of our friends' reactions to everything that's happening in their books. Now, I will say myself, whenever I've been live with you guys, I will tell you this, whenever I've been live with you guys, this isn't everything. I have, with every single book, I would be live with you guys and decorate it some, but then before I send it off, I would always add 1 or 2 more things that even if my creative friend was watching me live, she wouldn't have known that I added those to the book. So there's going to be some element of things that they have not seen. Nobody's seen them. So that when you, and then the other thing is when you're watching us open our books live, these things will be new to you too. You'll be like, what? I didn't see you make that or do that or add that. There's been a lot of activity, so who knows if we'll remember all of what we did live and didn't do live. All right. I love using fabric for these floppies. I think it just adds some texture, number one. It adds it amps it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more special than just using a tape. And it feels a little bit more like special than just using tape. This one's asking for more glue though. When I use the liquid glues, they get very wet. Okay, we have 1 minute left, and you guys, you know this is a page hop. So I'm going to tell you right now who you're going to head on over to make sure you make it over to my friend's page to join us as she's creating in the next book. Let me check the comments real quick. She said she's ready. Hey, Janet, how are you? Okay, Terry Jo. There are 83 people watching. Oh, 83 people in the house here with me. Thanks for that report. That's pretty darn special. I appreciate every single one of you being here. If you want to hang out with me more, whether you're coming in through YouTube or Facebook, please make sure you hit that subscribe or the like button. I want you to head over to Michelle's page. Michelle from the Vintage Daisy is next. So everybody hang up with me. Head over to Michelle with Vintage Daisy. She's going to be creating next. I'll see you over there.